A screaming man with a samurai sword evacuated a Walmart. Spain and France are in the midst of a tomato war. And a local Dairy Queen in Texas was busted for operating a meth ring. These are the weird stories for Tuesday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian in a closet. Woohoo! A screaming man with a samurai sword evacuated a Walmart. Takes a lot of effort to evacuate a Walmart. I mean, the things that customers and employees of a Walmart will put up with without it being evacuated, I mean, the threshold is high. There could be a naked man with a sex toy in a Walmart. They still won't evacuate. They'll just be like, hey, everybody, please just avoid aisle 8 for the time being. We have some cleanup to do. Evacuating the Walmart. This guy must have been really insane with the samurai sword. I'm a Jedi! I'm a Jedi! And I'm looking for savings. This story is out of a place called Vancouver, Washington. I had no idea there was a Vancouver, Washington, not to be confused with the Vancouver, BC that I often cover on this show. Vancouver is also in Washington. What's funny is it's kind of close to Vancouver, BC up there. A man was arrested after walking through traffic swinging a samurai sword and screaming, according to the Vancouver Police Department. First, he was in traffic swinging a samurai sword and yelling. Doesn't say what he was yelling. I would imagine he was offering to take on any and all samurais in the area. He wanted to attain samurai enlightenment by beating all samurais in this zip code before he moved on to the neighboring dojos in the other areas. I'm always curious how the crazy people get a hold of samurai swords. They're not cheap, by the way. You know, a good samurai sword is like $400. Where are these crazy people? They always somehow get samurai swords. I'm befuddled by this. Okay, so back to the details of the story. Multiple 911 calls reporting a man armed with a samurai sword walking around in traffic swinging the sword. Did he hit any vehicles? A samurai sword combined with a paint job. No bueno. Police say the man continued toward a Walmart parking lot and was screaming and threatening to hurt people in the Walmart parking lot. Now, that's not really obscure Walmart parking lot behavior, if we're being real. You'll find all sorts of insane Walmart parking lot behaviors. Usually they involve Pringles cans filled with wine. This man then took his sword and entered the Walmart. Just before the police arrived, he just walked right into the Walmart. Well, you can't expect the greeters to stop. The greeters don't even look at the people walking through. They just mindlessly go, welcome to Walmart. Welcome to Walmart. Guy walks through with a sword. Nice sword, sir. Welcome to Walmart. You going to be slashing prices today, sir? I made a joke. See? I not only greet people, but I make jokes about the people. This guy's going to slash prices. You see the sword? Okay. I'll keep my job. No, in all seriousness, how did he get inside with the samurai sword after he was swinging it for who knows how long in the Walmart parking lot? I mean, at that point, don't you just lock the door? There's a guy out there with a sword swinging. Or didn't they call for someone with a gun in the area? Attention, Walmart shoppers, if you're a good guy with a gun, please report to the parking lot. Also, shoppers, if you're a good guy without a gun, we're very pleased to announce a limited time 50% off sale on all firearms and ammunition here in the Walmart. And after purchase, please report to the parking lot. Perhaps there's a customer that happens to have nunchucks on them. If you happen to be possessing nunchucks and are quite skilled with them, please report to the parking lot and help de-escalate the samurai that we've discovered. There can only be one Highlander! All right, back to the details. How did this Kill Bill episode end? Well, officers immediately began evacuating the Walmart of customers and employees, and they quickly located the man with the sword. Police say the suspect surrendered, and there were no injuries during the incident. In addition to the samurai sword, the suspect also had a 5-inch knife in his pocket. Subject's been charged with felony harassment, dangerous weaponry, and displaying a weapon. Well, there's a photo of the samurai sword, and it's wooden. Well, it's got a wooden blade, it looks like. Wow, it looks really nice, though. Man, it's got a nice sheath to it as well. Is that what you call it? A sheath? Oh, it's like a nice, deep, dark burgundy color. Ooh, it looks like a collector's item. I don't know where he got this, but it's quite beautiful. Maybe he's a legit samurai. Maybe that's how he got it. Did you check for his samurai papers? The guy was like, officers, no, I'm a legit samurai. If you go to Instagram, you do a search for my account, I'm at Walmart Samurai. Yeah, this is a thing that I do. It's good for the gram. I've gone viral a few times for attacking people in the parking lot, but you got to do what you got to do for the gram, guys. I'm just trying to make a living here. I'm an influencer. I'm a sword-slashing influencer, and there can only be one. There's a tomato war raging between the countries of Spain and France. Have you guys heard about the tomato war? I had no idea. Well, if this happens to lead to World War III and it's over tomatoes, that'd be pretty wild. But if it leads to better tomatoes for the rest of us, then probably worth it. We have here Ségolène Royal, who is a French politician. She was the Socialist Party candidate for presidency of France rather recently, so she's a big deal over there in France. Her opinion probably has some importance. She called them out over their crappy tomatoes in Spain, apparently. Here's her quote. "Have you tasted these so-called organic Spanish tomatoes? They're inedible. Spanish organic is fake organic. Spanish fruits and vegetables do not meet French standards and should not be on supermarket shelves anywhere in France." Now, obviously, Spain didn't appreciate this attack on their tomatoes. Her comments were met with backlash from Spanish farmers who called her words very shameful and that it's a bunch of drivel, D-R-I-V-E-L. It's drivel. I think drivel means nonsense or BS. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez invited her to Spain to try one of the varieties of organic tomatoes that they have to offer, saying, "Royal has not had the good fortune of trying a Spanish tomato. You will see that the Spanish tomato is unbeatable." Wow, I mean, what can you say about this? Clearly, it's a dicey situation. These countries stewing over the tomatoes. These sauced politicians going at it, you know what I'm saying, guys? By the way, I'm curious, when is Italy going to enter the chat? I'm sure they have something to say about this. We have here an Organic Farmers Association that has lodged a formal complaint against this French woman, a farmer from southern Spain. Bartolo Ramirez said, quote, "That lady has a palate problem. Unlike in France and elsewhere, we have sun all year round. That's why our tomatoes, in addition to complying with all the strict regulations, have the great flavor that they have." Well, there's some fighting words right there. It says here, during the ongoing farmers' protests, numerous lorries from Spain have been attacked. A cargo of fruit, vegetables, and wine was destroyed at the Boulou toll gate, which is a few kilometers from the Spanish border. Oh, this could escalate, guys. This could really turn into a war here, and my money's on Spain. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but we know how France operates during times of war. You know, they seem to lay down a bit. And Spain's really good at those things called, what are they called? Those inquisitions? Yeah, they're pretty good at that. So you don't want to mess with them. They'll come over and inquisition your whole area. And that's a pretty potent form of offense, in my opinion. Perhaps it could be the attack of the killer tomatoes, a big tomato fight. That would be wild. Isn't there a big tomato fight once a year in Spain? They all throw tomatoes at each other. Anyways, I digest. Farmers in France accuse Spain of flooding the domestic market with these low-cost, low-quality products that use a lot of pesticides. In the last 5 years, production of tomatoes has actually fallen by 20% in Spain, which is the world's sixth largest producer of the fruit. I've never tried these tomatoes in Spain. I've never tried the French tomatoes, so I can't speak on the quality here. I can tell you that the tomatoes that are sold at the dollar store are not very high quality, and I don't recommend you purchasing those. When I think of great tomatoes, though, I don't think from any particular region. I think a good tomato or any food is kind of a personal experience for you, and much more goes into it than just the actual taste of the fruit. The best tomatoes I've ever eaten in my life. I remember as a young child, they were from my great-grandmother's garden. My old Italian great-grandmother lived next door, and she had these tomatoes, and they were just the best tomatoes I ever ate in my life. And so, but more went into them. It was the fact that they were grown by her right there. And I remember helping her harvest the few plants that she had. Harvest is a lofty word for what I was really doing. I was picking the tomatoes and helping her. She would can them in these large mason jars. I remember doing that, and in her basement, and then she would just put them on shelves in the basement and have them ready for the winter. Those were amazing. She made the best sauce. See, that's my memory of great tomatoes. That's my opinion of great tomatoes. So more goes into it than just the region that it comes from. There's a lot to tomatoes. Am I rambling here? And I'm sharing too much probably, and maybe this isn't interesting, but maybe I got some listeners over in Europe that can weigh in on the tomato war debate and tell us which side has the best tomatoes and which side you're fighting for. Yay! Police bust employees of a Dairy Queen selling methamphetamines in what they're calling Operation Blizzard. Now, guys, there's fast food, and then there's really fast food. This story's out of Clifton, Texas. 10 people have been arrested for allegedly selling and trafficking methamphetamine out of a Dairy Queen. Now, that's a drive-through experience I can appreciate. Sir, would you like your meth in a cone or a cup? Maybe there's some sort of code word that you ordered. Yeah, sure. I'd like my soft serve a little extra frosty, you know? Could I get some extra ice on that? Extra ice? Wink, wink. Clifton police say officers received some information that several people were selling methamphetamine in the area. An investigation reportedly revealed that the individuals were selling this methamphetamine at their place of employment, the local Dairy Queen. Now, it says here, because the operation began at the Dairy Queen, local police said they called their investigation, quote, Operation Blizzard, which is hilarious. If you guys are unaware, Dairy Queen sells an item called a Blizzard, which is like an ice cream shake, sort of. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Although this Blizzard that they served at this particular location probably kept you up all night. At the time of this press release, Clifton police say the individuals involved are no longer employed at the Dairy Queen. Oh, I should hope so. According to police, officers were able to set up undercover drug buys from this location on numerous occasions, which they said led to them finding that the individuals were also selling drugs at other locations around the city as well. Guys, if your meth dealer has all their teeth, then you should know it's a police officer, okay? So we need to get that out of the way here. We have here's a quote from Police Chief Chris Blanton. What started out as a couple guys that worked at Dairy Queen selling methamphetamines turned into a pretty big operation, kind of scattered all over Clifton. Wow, was it multiple Dairy Queens in this operation, or were there other businesses involved? Did they bust a couple guys on the side of the road selling snow cones? Wink, wink. Says during the investigation, police say they uncovered additional people who say they were trafficking methamphetamines in Clifton. Officers were reportedly able to make multiple undercover drug purchases from those individuals as well and execute some search warrants. It says here, Chief Blanton claims the investigation took a pretty long time because it kept growing. They kept finding more and more locations. I'd really love to know what other businesses they were operating out of. It's kind of funny when illicit substances comically fit the name of the business they're using to front their operation. It's like, you know, because it's a Dairy Queen and it was meth. It's like, I don't know if you busted a ski resort for selling coke, or maybe a prostitution ring that was operating out of a Dick's Sporting Goods. Come on, guys. We're rolling today. The police chief is hopeful that his team's work on this Operation Blizzard will send a very clear message to the community that they want to make Clifton a better place and a safer place in their everyday battle against drugs. I got a question for you guys. Do you like your Angel Dust soft serve in a cone or a cup? call the show, 646-450-2012. Thank you very much for participating. Yay! Gonna hear some weird news coming through from a closet. What's up, y'all? This is your host, Jonesy. Thank you for spending this episode of Weird AF News with me. I appreciate you. If you're new to the show, just FYI, I record weird news 5 days a week, and on Friday, it's only weird news from Florida. So if this sounds like something you'd like to inculcate into your daily routine as part of your news lineup, or maybe you don't listen to the mainstream news every day, but you just want some laughs, then please consider subscribing to the show. It's available on all podcast players and YouTube as well. I want to thank my supporters who keep me going, such as this individual who just joined the Patreon, is now a supporter of the Weird AF News empire that I have going on over here inside a closet. Diacria? I don't know if I'm saying this right. Diacria. It's all one word. Diacria just became a member of the Patreon, and so I just wanted to give Dia a shout out. She's a very supportive and generous individual who's decided to step up her level of love for Weird AF News and for Jonesy by joining the Patreon. And so big shout out to Diacria. Welcome to the Patreon. Please enjoy the extra weird content can be found within the Patreon. I hope you enjoy that. I put stuff in there all the time, just extra weird stuff that's inappropriate for the podcast. For a number of reasons. Anyways, I'm very grateful for Diacria. Shout out to Diacria. If you guys want to join the Patreon, go to patreon.com/weirdafnews or go to weirdafnews.com, the official website of Weird AF News, and click on the Patreon banner if you'd like to do that. Or you can download the Patreon app on your phone and join there. Just do a search for Weird AF News. I'm the only one in there. I'm the only game in town. Perhaps you would like to call the show and express yourself because you were motivated, or maybe you were triggered by one of the stories I did, or maybe you want to answer one of the questions I pose. The phone number is 646-450-2012. Please leave a voicemail. Please say hello, introduce yourself, tell us where you're from. We'd like to learn who's listening to Weird AF News. It's a big community here. Well, not that big, but it's growing. It's growing like an AA meeting. You know what I'm saying? Also, you can email me, funnyjones@gmail.com, or you can go to my Instagram and slide into my DMs. I always welcome DM slides, and my Instagram's @funnyjones. So please follow me on Instagram. You can be updated to where I'm performing stand-up comedy on my Instagram as well, because I post all my show information on there. That's what I use, is the gram. Anyways, I guess that's about it for the due diligence. I appreciate you guys spending this time with me, and I won't hold you any further. Just know that I'm thinking about you, and if you're in a place right now where the weather is very unsavory, just please stay safe. Please stay warm. Stay inside. And if you do go out, just be careful and don't drive like a maniac. Not even like a maniac. Don't drive like you normally drive. Just slow down a little bit, okay? Be careful out there. The roads are slippery, they're wet, and they smell.